Hey guys, Carlo here of MNT Labs. Today we're doing an introduction to the Order Book Heatmap, a limit order indicator that visualizes where buy and sell limits are situated within the market compared to price. In this video we'll cover what the Order Book Heatmap is, what makes it unique and advantageous compared to a regular order book, how to set it up, and how to use it. Let's get into it. Jumping into the terminal, you can see that I currently have the classic order book on my chart. This indicator tells us the current quantity of buy and sell limits at particular prices within the order book. For instance, up here at 91,500, you can see that there is currently a 72 Bitcoin sell limit in the order book. One of the limitations of the order book is that it contains no history of orders, since it will only display information about current limit orders within the order book. This is where the Order Book Heatmap comes in. The Heatmap is a re-envisioning of the classic order book for modern traders. It displays limit orders visually as colorful lines on the price chart. One of the many benefits of the Heatmap is that it not only tells you at what price significant orders are at, but it does so while scaling them to the chart, making identifying where limits are relative to price fast, easy, and effective. Also, being on a chart, it has a history, allowing you to see how long limit orders have been around for, and how they interacted with price, unlike the classic order book. On top of this, the Order Book Heatmap also visually differentiates between the size of limit orders with its coloring. By default in the terminal, smaller, less important limit orders appear darker, with stronger limit orders appearing brighter. These low and high thresholds can be modified to suit the asset and market environment you're trading in. At any time, you can hover over a limit order or wall with your crosshair to immediately see the exact size of the order. Since this indicator exclusively illustrates limit orders, walls below price will always be buy limits, and walls above price will always be sell limits, even if they share the same color scheme. In this example, you quickly see the importance of order books, as price comes up and interacts with these significant sell walls, and how MMT's cutting-edge heatmap makes trading them as easy as possible. To add the Order Book Heatmap to your chart, simply click the Indicators button, and it will be at the very top of the MMT Official tab. If we click the cog icon on the Indicators label, we can open up the Settings menu. At the top, we have the Enable HD Heatmap option. Pro users will be able to turn this on to view the order books in far more granular detail. This setting is ideal for traders who are more zoomed in and are trading on lower timeframes. When turned off, the detail will be less granular but will be more performant since less data is being downloaded and computed. This is suitable for those who trade larger timeframes or might have slower computers or networks. Moving on, we have the Style option. By default, this will be set to Classic, which makes all limit orders appear as rectangular, uniform walls, but we can set this to Splat or Gaussian Splat. This does not influence how the limit orders function and is purely an aesthetic detail, although some traders prefer it. Color Map allows you to change the theme of the heat map. These are largely personal preference, but some contain more or less colorways, so give them a try. The default is Viridis, and it has 3 main colors, starting with purple, through to green, and then yellow. It is the default theme and also the most popular. The intensity color scale will drastically alter how the heat map is rendered. These inputs will define how the data within the heat map is both filtered and color graded. The low size slider is responsible for visually removing orders below a set minimum. This is useful for removing noise from the heat map or to ignore the more illiquid parts of the order book. Use this function to easily identify the more important limit orders in the heat map. The peak slider will determine the threshold with which to render the heat map's intensity. When decreased, it will increase the intensity of the heat map. Any limit orders above this threshold will all appear as the strongest color of the heat map style option. The Enable Zoom tooltip function, when checked, will allow you to hover over any limit order with your crosshair to see the size it was at for that particular price and time, as well as the size of any limit orders immediately surrounding it. Unchecking this feature will turn it off entirely. The Extend Heatmap option will take the current order book walls and extend them visually to the right. This is a useful option to more easily identify the size of current limit orders that might otherwise be more difficult to see with the naked eye. This fulfills a similar function to the classic order book. One of the special functionalities of the Market Monkey Terminal's heatmap is its ability to seamlessly aggregate between a multitude of different exchanges and exchange types. For example, I currently have Binance and Coinbase Spot making up my heatmap aggregation, but if I like, I can untick Binance, so it exclusively shows me Coinbase walls, even if my chart ticker is set to a different exchange. To try out a new aggregation, simply select the exchanges you're interested in, and then click the Aggregate button. This button exists to save you from having the heat map reload every time you make a change. It's important to keep in mind that different exchanges will have different quantities of order books. Perps, for example, tend to have far higher size than spot, so when aggregated, it will require a recalibration of the intensity slider. Certain settings of the Order Book Heatmap do not need to be accessed through its menu directly, and instead can be modified within MMT's master taskbar to help optimize your workflow efficiency. Such settings include the intensity slider, the HD toggle, and the ability to switch between coin notional value and USD notional value. All in all, the MMT Heatmap offers live, real-time order book aggregation with unparalleled rendering performance, visual clarity, and full market depth. It also seamlessly combines and layers with countless other confluencing tools and indicators. Key takeaways. The core purpose of the Order Book Heatmap is to observe significant resting limit orders and their changes over time far faster, more intuitively, efficiently, and conveniently than a regular order book. It visualizes the current and historical limit orders directly on the price chart and represents them as colorful lines or walls. It shows where the orders sit relative to price, how long they've been there, and in what relative quantities. Below price are always buy limits, and above price are always sell limits. Bigger orders represent brighter colors, and smaller orders are darker or are completely hidden with the adjustable thresholds. To see the exact size of a wall, simply hover over it with your crosshair. The major advantages over a classic order book include the fact that it has history, visual scaling, size intensity, and a multi-exchange aggregation. Key settings for the Order Book Heatmap include the intensity sliders, allowing you to control noise versus emphasis on big walls. The HD mode, toggle between more and less granularity. Multi-exchange aggregation, combine different exchanges and exchange types. And the Extend Heatmap option, which allows you to read current prices more easily. And don't forget the quick options in the master taskbar, change settings for the indicator on the fly. This has been Krolic with MMT Labs. I hope you enjoyed this introduction to the Order Book Heatmap indicator, and if you have any questions, come check us out in the MMT Discord, and we'll get back to you directly. Cheers.